Hello humans, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to get this episode just going. I've done my introduction so I can kind of just dive in to what we're talking about. So first off, when it comes to EDM, I want to point out something that I'm sure a lot of people don't realize. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because I was listening to Alice in Wonderland's radio, and she brought up the fact that in Australia, EDM is a completely different genre than electric music or trance or house music. And for those of you that aren't in the culture, those are just different types of EDM. Here in the United States, we use EDM as an umbrella term for all of the genres that operate within this music industry. So with that being said, it doesn't always give enough credit to the artists that operate in these individual genres. So the chances are, even if you hear one kind of EDM that you don't like, chances are you can still find something that you vibe with and you connect with, because it is really such a broad music community. So I actually have the perfect story to kind of show what kind of ideas people have when you hear the word rave. I work in an office with mostly LDS people, but they're all super nice, super open, and we live in Utah, and this is a very judgmental and conservative state. So creates a lot of stigmas with something like the rave community. And one of my coworkers the other day tells me, "Why are you so open about the fact that you go to raves? Isn't that like a place where people can go and have orgies on lots of drugs?" And I was like, oh my God, no, that's not what a rave is. And rave is not a dirty word. I'm proud to be a part of this community. I don't feel like it's something that I need to hide because I'm not doing anything wrong. And so that just kind of gives you a little background of what the idea of raving is, at least out here in Utah, to those who are not a part of the community. If you are watching this and you are not a part of the community and you've never been to a rave, I really want you to be open-minded while watching the rest of this video and just have an open heart with it, because even if at the end of the day it's not your cup of tea, it's really important to a lot of people, and it has a really big community base that thrives because this music exists. So with that being said, the foundation of the EDM culture is based upon PLUR. And if you don't know what that is, PLUR stands for Peace, Love, Unity, Respect. And it's essentially a set of principles, if you will, that ravers follow not only at shows, but true ravers also implement it in their everyday life, out in their community, constantly. It's a way of life, and it promotes a very safe and comfortable environment for any and all ages. Any kind of person from all walks of life can come to these shows and feel 100% welcomed and 100% connected and loved. It's incredible to see such a big group of people connecting on the levels that they do, and just engaging in the moment is something so rare when you grow up. And that's really what raving is all about. You get to take a break from the crazy everyday adulting life and have a night to just not worry about anything and just dance your night away with your friends and get out all of the negative energy. That's how it feels for me, at least. I personally feel like a sponge for everybody else's emotions, let alone my own. So raving is really a therapy for me to go and get out all of this emotion in a healthy outlet. I just dance for hours. And some people have what they call flow arts. There's hooping, where girls and guys can do crazy things with hula hoops, or there's gloving where people are wearing gloves. I don't have any on me right now, but wearing these white gloves with LEDs at each fingertip, and I'm not a good glover. I've tried, but it just did not click with me. But I've seen some really talented glovers that just blow my mind. It's so cool. We have poise spinners. There's so many different flow arts for anybody, really. It's just really fun and childlike, honestly. And that's another reason why I like these shows, because you grow up and you lose this childlike awe for life. It just kind of diminishes as you get more responsibilities, and raves are my time to act like a kid and do whatever I want and be weird and be crazy, because you'll be accepted and loved for it, and everybody else around you is doing the same exact thing. So it's really cool. If you've never experienced a show, I encourage you. I've seen women like in their 80s going to shows. It's crazy, but it's such a wide community. It blows my mind every time. The other really cool thing is you connect with so many different people that you would have never connected with if you hadn't gone to these shows. And when you meet new people out at shows, they like to give you what we call kandi. I'm wearing some of mine. These are called Perlers, and they're just basically little accessories made out of beads. I'm going to show you guys some of these. My best friend Alicia gave me this one that says Soul Sister. It has a little Buddha guy on it. My friend Hope gave me, this guy says, Ron, stop. And I'm sorry, I love Jersey Shore. I don't even care. And I'm pretty sure this has been to EDC Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. So super cool. Some random girl, I never got her name, she gave me this unicorn guy, told me that I looked beautiful. She was super sweet. Some other girl gave me this one, and it has a little citrine stone on it. And all of her kandi has crystals incorporated in them. It's super cool. Then I got another rainbow guy that says Pride. My Perlers, my best friend Brody. I have a lot of really close friends. You guys are going to learn. This is my Rave fam. So Brody made me this genie guy for Get Freaky, I think. My best friend Johnny made me this guy, and it has my name actually in the back here. It's super cute. And then my friend Cody, and I love Slander. If you don't know who Slander is, look him up. There's two of them. Look them up. This is my Slander Perler. It says You're Superhuman right here in the black. It's kind of wearing out, and that's one of my favorite songs by them. So yeah, even though most of these were from my friends, I have a lot from strangers that I met, that just super cool experiences, really good conversations. It's kind of like a mind expansion when you conversate with all these different kinds of people. It just brings different perspectives that you might not have thought of had you not encountered this particular person. So it's really cool. I've had a lot of life-changing moments at raves that just can't ever be put into words unless you've lived it. And those who rave know what I'm talking about. Just there's those moments where it just feels like time stops and everything is right in the world, and nothing could be better than this moment. And it's because music is such a connecting thing. And what's always blown my mind about the EDM world is that I have songs that have absolutely no words whatsoever. It's just sounds, and they can make you feel so many deep emotions. And it blows my mind. Without even words, you can make someone feel what you're feeling, and it's so cool. I just love it. So going into that, I want to talk about the actual music, some of my favorite artists that are just phenomenal. I talked about San Holo in my last video. He is a very huge part of my life, and I actually got a tattoo. I can't swing that way. That angle's not gonna work. If you want to see it, it's on my Instagram. But it's essentially, it says "We rise, we fall" at the bottom, and that was one of the first songs I heard by him. And the only words it says is "We rise, we fall" over and over. But it was kind of like a mantra for me to remind me that even when things are so bad, good is always going to come after. Things cannot stay bad, and things cannot always stay good. It's the balance of life. It's inevitable, and it's just the cycle we go through. But in that moment, I really needed the reminder that things are going to get better. Just gotta ride the wave of life. And he has another song called "Light." And if you're like a crazy music fanatic like me, I would get out a pen and paper or your Spotify, something, if you want to look these songs up, because I'm going to be naming quite a few. "Light" by San Holo was life-changing. It essentially has the same message that the light is going to come. There are dark days. Things get better. One of my most favorites is "Millennium." I would highly recommend watching his Lost Lands 2017 or 2018 set. They're both amazing. But watch that set, and if you don't feel something within just your soul from watching that, then I don't know what to say, essentially. Because a little background on "Millennium" before you go and watch his set. He, I think it was about 7 years ago, he overdosed and almost died. He struggled with opiate addiction for a very long time, and that was kind of his turning point for him. And he took all of his pain and all of his suffering and everything he had gone through and all of the guilt he felt for what he put others through and turned it into something so beautiful. His music is beautiful, and I feel like if you listen to "Millennium" and you don't resonate with any of his music, I feel like you're looking at it very surface level, because his music is just, there's so much depth to all of these artists. It's incredible. And if you're closed-minded when you listen to it, a lot of people would probably think "Millennium" is just a bunch of love music, which, yes, it's love music, but when people think of love, they think of relationships, just boyfriend, girlfriend, or girlfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, whatever way you swing. And really, his music exudes love in so many other ways, and friendship and family, and so many depths to love. It's incredible. And his story just really touches me, because now he dedicates his entire life to making music to help save others and help others through their struggle. He has helped me through so many dark days. I can't even tell you. His music really calms me, and I would recommend him to any and everybody. I'm such a millennial. I don't even care. I love him. And then I want to talk about Dobbins as well. He is an amazing artist. I was honored enough to meet him in person when he came to Salt Lake City for his Wild Youth tour. And he is one of the most just humble, chill, cool, just sweetest guys. And I work at Skybar in SLC, so a lot of people may think that that's how I got to meet him, but I actually just messaged him on Instagram and told him it was my friend Alicia's birthday. I was taking her to his show to celebrate. Would it be cool if we just stopped backstage for a quick second, said hi, before you're on your way? And he was like, yeah, sure, no problem. It was just like, okay, cool, and just super cool. I got to meet him in Trifecta, me and Alicia did, and the most humble people operate within this community. And Dobbins' Wildlife, or Wild Youth, I said wildlife because he's a fan of This Wildlife, another band, not EDM based, but you should still look him up. Him and I bonded over the fact for like a second that we both like This Wildlife. Anywho, his Wild Youth album is amazing. I say amazing so many times because it's gorgeous. And that album really, for me, touches on growing up and the growing pains that come with getting older, and just things that as a teenager you don't really worry about, but then once you hit your early 20s, it just, life, you get a huge reality check of what this life really is, and how hard you have to work to survive, really, and just be okay. And this album really touches on that a lot. I have a tattoo on my neck. You're not going to be able to see it very well, but it says "Always Another Day," and that is one of Dobbins' songs on this album. And for me, that song just reiterates that no matter what you went through today, no matter how shitty and awful and crazy of a day you may have had today, there's always tomorrow to make it better and to have better experiences and to change thought patterns or change habits to make this life better for yourself. And it just, that entire album really resonated with me. All of his music does. And these three artists are just making really big names for themselves in the community for so much positivity and love. And they're referred to as the Sad Boy Crews. But I'm a sad boy at heart, I guess. I like listening to music that makes me feel something other than, I mean, I have fun headbanging and raging with my friends, but I want to feel something when I'm listening to music. And that's really what these guys do for me. And I've met quite a few DJs within the community. I met Jason Ross. I've met Decadon, Sanholo. I got to meet him. And what was so crazy about that is I really thought about what it would be like to one day thank him for essentially saving my life. I thought of so many like different ideas. I wanted to go to EDC and just make a giant sign or something. I don't know. I was thinking of so many crazy things of what I could do to just let him know how grateful I was and am for him and his music and his art. And it just ended up, he was doing meet and greets for his show here at the complex, so I jumped on it and I got to tell him in person kind of my story in a way that he saved my life and how grateful I was for him. And he was so humble, and I could tell he was taken aback by it and just shocked almost. And he was just such a humble, down-to-earth dude. And that's how every single DJ is that I've come in contact with. And it just blows my mind because I feel like outside of this community, you don't see a lot of that. And I'm just really proud of that. The artists that we support are amazing, and the community is amazing. I mean, how many music genres do you know of that have created a little principle for peace, love, unity, and respect? And it really makes me feel like if the rest of the world was like it was at most of the shows I've been to, it would definitely be a better place, in my opinion. So with all of that, I hope I gave some of you some perspective onto what this culture is like and why we do what we do. I'm going to touch more on the effects raving can have for anxiety and depression. I want to get some people on to share some of their own similar experiences with that. So that's going to be its own separate deal. And my very next episode is going to go into all of the stigmas surrounding this community. I'm going to address drug usage and all of that good stuff. So if you are not a part of the community and you made it through to the end, I want you to pat yourself on the back, because I'm sure if you had preconceived ideas of this beforehand, you probably had some preconceived ideas until hopefully this video. So, if this changed your mind or gave you a little light into our world, please drop me a comment, shoot me a message. If you guys enjoyed this and really liked all the stuff I talked about, subscribe, share with your friends on your social medias. I am so excited for the next video to get going, and I can't wait for you guys to see this one. So any and all feedback is definitely welcomed, and I just want to thank you guys so much for the support that I've gotten this far, and stoked to see how much this can grow. So that being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Namaste, beautiful humans, and I'll see you on my next episode.